Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together.
Oh, yes.
Welcome back. It should be Halloween weekend, I think.
Oh, wow. That came up fast. That snuck right up on me. It scared me. It came up so fast.
So, in honor of Halloween, today's Freaky Fauna is one that there's several animals on the planet that just don't deserve the reputation.
Okay.
Like piranhas. You know, piranhas aren't like just these bloodthirsty monsters out there.
Right.
You can swim in a pool of piranhas. So do you have a guess? What is an animal that is associated with Halloween that probably does not deserve its reputation?
Bat.
It is a type of bat.
Okay. That's a good guess.
Yes. So I struggled to pick a type of bat. I was thinking about there's plenty of...
Vampire bat.
It is vampire bats.
All right. Yep. And Halloween themed. Here we come.
Vampire bats are a group of 3 species of bat in the family Philiostomiidae. The name comes from the Siberian folklore where the vampire or vampire is an evil mythological creature that drinks blood.
Mythological?
Bum, bum, bum. Wrong show. So where do they live? Where do you think vampire bats live? Do you think we have them here?
Transylvania.
They live mostly in tropical and subtropical regions. Dark places such as cave, tree hollows, mines, and abandoned buildings. Mexico, Central, and South America.
Okay. So not here.
Yes, not here.
Good. So you don't have to sleep.
I cannot tell you how many people are like, I got a vampire bat in my house. And you're like,
Just need garlic.
no, you don't.
Just need garlic.
You don't have one. How long do you think they can live? Vampire bats are pretty small for the bats.
Say a small mammal. I don't know. Small mammal. 5 years.
That's a good guess. But for the research, I probably would have... Ooh, big bump.
That's all right.
Probably would have been right in there with you. 8 to 12 years in the wild.
Oh, wow.
In captivity, they can go a little longer.
Oh, even longer than 12? Mm-hmm. That's pretty impressive.
Wingspan is about 18 centimeters and about 9 centimeters tall.
Wow.
They weigh about 40 grams. Most of the time, their fur is brown in color, but they can be gray and black. Their diet is blood.
Like, that's all they eat?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Their diet is blood of mammals and birds specifically.
Okay.
Warm blood.
None of that
blood.
None of that bug blood.
More reptiles.
Right.
Is what they're talking about.
Oh, okay.
But they have a lot of predators. Hawks, eagles, snakes, and humans kill tons of these guys because they threaten the livestock. Mm-hmm. They can fly pretty quick, too. About 25 miles an hour.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. For a small animal, yeah.
Don't you have to hit them with a tennis racket?
What?
Is that the only way you can knock them out of the air?
No. Okay, how people hunt bats is you throw a tennis ball up and they all attack it.
Oh, really?
Because it screws with their sonar.
See, I always thought the racket, the strings threw it all off.
Maybe, I don't know. They are right now status least concern. Bats are traditionally split into 2 suborders. Megabats, which are the world's largest bats like flying foxes. They're generally fruit eaters. And the small, also known as microbats. These are the echolocators.
Mm-hmm,
So vampire bats fall into that.
Okay.
So those are the 2 big branches of the bat family.
Macro and micro.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And some quote-unquote microbats are fairly large.
Right.
Bigger than your hand and such like that. But they're not flying foxes. So that's 6-foot wingspans.
Yeah, there's a big difference between big micro and big macro.
Vampire bats are only found in the tropical and subtropical regions of Mexico, Central America, and South America. Mostly Argentina, Brazil, Chile, and Uruguay. They generally live in large colonies and almost complete darkness. They really like caves, old buildings, hollow trees. They have a strong bond between members of their colony.
Cool.
So they are colonial animals.
Good family group, huh?
Like all mammals, they are warm-blooded and give birth to live young, like at least most mammals. You ready for some facts about vampire bats?
No, I was born ready.
There are only 3 species of vampire bat in the entire world. Out of the 1,400 known species of bat,
There's only 3.
only 3 rely on okay, I'm going to try it. Hematophagry.
Yeah.
It's blood eating
Oh, okay.
for nutrients.
That makes sense.
And these are the hairy-legged vampire bat, the white-winged vampire bat, and then the common vampire bat. If you Google vampire bat, you're going to get the common vampire bat. Typical big pointy ears, the face. They look like a bat, like a stereotypical bat.
Right, like from the cartoons.
Because there's some crazy bats, like mohawk bats, white-faced bats, monkey bat. Like, there are some insane-looking bats.
A lot of different phenotypes?
Genotypes.
Oh, that's genotype.
Different species.
That's right.
2 vampire bat species feed mostly on bird blood, and 1 prefers that of mammals. The next freaky fauna fact. The common vampire bat feeds on warm-blooded animals, mostly large mammals such as horses, cows, and pigs, and very, very occasionally humans.
So what do they do? Just lay it on you and like bite? And
while the small incursion and blood loss for humans would not be anywhere near life-threatening,
right?
Unfortunately, some humans have caught diseases such as rabies and go on to die from this. Modern day, it's not that big an issue. We're talking more historical.
Yeah. You're not going to die from
bats
bite.
aren't like a super big carrier of rabies either.
Okay.
So that's even rare. So what these guys do, they actually bite and lap. So they cause a small cut and they lap. They have an anticoagulant in their bite, and then they have a numbing agent in their bite. So a lot of times you'll see them licking the area before they bite it. And that's numbing it. So you don't feel the bite. They are completely nocturnal. They leave the roost to feed when it's dark, and they wait until the moon, and most of the time they wait until the moon goes down. So on nights with a bright moon, they won't come out most of the time.
You see, in the cartoons, that's when they always came out.
Not vampire bats.
Oh, that's just werewolves, huh?
Number 4, they locate sleeping animals through sound detection. Vampire bats can hear ultra-low frequency rhythmic beating of animals sleeping, which aid them in their nighttime hunting. They can hear your heartbeat.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's
good ears.
There's mammals over there.
Well, yeah. Well, that makes sense, though. If they're looking for blood, they need to hear a heartbeat.
Here's a really, really weird one for you. If you look up Google videos of vampire bats, a lot of times you're going to see them crawling around the ground like little monkeys.
Okay.
Keep in mind, these are tiny. These are tiny, tiny animals.
Yeah.
Vampire bats stalk their prey on the ground, not in the air. They are highly agile and can walk, run, and hop on all 4 limbs very quickly, stalking their prey stealthily. They specialize thumb pad and strong limbs. They help them walk on the ground and take off into flight after feeding. So these guys will literally crawl around, and they look like little monkeys with the way their arms and legs are shaped.
Yeah.
And they'll sneak up on mammals and stuff like that if they think the videos. Most time you see are hogs, big hogs is what they're feeding on. If the pigs are waiting, they'll take off and hide and wait.
Yeah.
If she gets up and moves, they'll follow her.
And what do they do? Just jump on their back or bite on their leg or something?
Anywhere. A lot of times it's extremities and stuff like that, but anywhere they can sense good blood flow.
Right, yeah. You probably hear it.
They must excrete excess fluid after every meal. The blood consumed by vampire bats is typically a typical 30-minute feeding period can add it up to at least about 20 grams of their body weight. Within 2 minutes after feeding, their kidneys and bladder will start expelling urine to lighten their load so they can get back off the ground. So they can eat about half their body weight in a meal.
And just dump all the extra fluids.
They need to get all the fluid out.
So they can even fly.
Yeah. They have heat receptors to help them find blood in the skin. They have naked pads on their face and their snouts to detect infrared radiation. They have a pad around their nose, and they put it up, and they can essentially see veins and arteries.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and that's how they sense where to bite.
It's like the Predator.
Yeah. They have razor sharp teeth. Their upper incisors are triangular shaped and very, very sharp. These teeth have no enamel, which helps keep them sharp for cutting through skin of the prey.
Like little needles.
Like shark's teeth, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Vampire bats don't suck blood. They lap it up. And there's an old Billy and Mandy skit with Dracula. Dracula's like a black jazz man.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, they're like, suck the blood, or suck the blood. And he's like, Dracula don't suck. Dracula scrape and lick. And he's like, scrape and lick. I don't know, it just reminds me of it.
That was a funny show.
It was good. Good for Halloween. They have grooved tongues.
Ooh.
So grooves in the tongue help direct the blood backwards into their throat when they're feeding.
Okay.
Basically, they make it like a little straw.
Or feeding trough.
They die very quickly without blood.
Okay.
Longest we've ever seen is about 3 nights in a row.
Okay, so they pretty much just constantly need
They
it.
can't feed on nights with full moons.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, because they get picked out of the sky so fast, they don't leave.
Right, yeah.
And then, so mammals and stuff can see them walking up, and nobody wants to get bit.
Well, no, especially when there's like a little bat monkey crawling on the floor, sneaking up on you, stalking you.
It's talking to you. You imagine seeing something the size of a big mouse stalking you.
Doing that?
Literally, they'll like hide behind corners and follow you and that kind of stuff.
Thinking like old goblins following you.
That's what they kind of look like.
Yeah.
You imagine just seeing that. You're in like Uruguay and you're going to the barn at night and you just see these little tiny monkey goblins peeking around the corner, waiting for the pig to go to sleep.
I just buy my ticket home right then and there.
Here's a crazy thing for you. Here's one of the crazy freaky fun facts. They share food.
With each other?
Researchers have shown that vampire bats regulate blood into their mouth to another bat in the same colony to ensure their survival.
Oh, wow.
We do not know the extent of this social structure, whether it's injured ones, whether it's offspring, family members, or just colony members.
Right, yeah.
But they'll literally bring back food to some that don't leave.
Huh.
If they have excess food.
Maybe some just, lost their job, they're out on their luck. They're out on the couch like, yeah, I'll get you some blood today.
They live in colonies of varying sizes and social structures. Common vampire bats can form colonies of 1,000 individuals easy. Most times much higher than that. While hairy-legged vampire bats are mostly solitary, and they live in groups that kind of top out at 12 animals.
Wow, that's pretty small.
Yeah. Research shows that common vampire bats colonies have a complex social structure with harems of female and separate groups of males. So there'll be like 20 females to one male in this little area.
Oh, okay.
And those are all his kids and that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
But there'll be other males there, like other males and harems are right next to it. It's very unique, the social structure. Females and males huddle together to keep their body temperatures from dropping. In warmer situations, females and males tend to spread out in their roost. They'll literally like paint a wall. But when it starts dropping below 11 degrees centigrade, they'll form one large roost in the colony, and they socially thermoregulate.
That's pretty cool.
So they'll all where they used to take up the whole cave, they'll all like slam into a corner to make sure they all survive.
Keep that warmth together.
They usually give birth upside down, and it's always to a single pup. Female bats usually give birth to one baby bat, which is called a pup. The females turn her upside down from her usual head position and hang with her tail down, creates a pouch in her wings to catch the pups that fall out.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
So
pretty
she
cool.
literally makes a net with her wings.
Yeah.
So when she gives birth, they just fall into the wing. They feed their young milk. Imagine what bat milk
Yeah, I
tastes
can't. I would try it.
The mother bat feeds her pups on milk through her nipples, as most mammals do.
Bat milk. It's got to be better than pigeon milk.
Well, yes. Yeah, it probably is, because the pigeon milk is just excretions from the stomach.
Right, yeah.
Female bats help each other out.
Wow.
Here's another really cool one. During the first few weeks after giving birth, females are fed regularly blood from other females in the group. So other females are making sure she doesn't have to abandon her pups,
Right, yeah.
and they're feeding her.
So it's good social structure.
So they can survive the nipple feeding their young and the nursing roost, and they cannot hunt for themselves. Female vampire bats have also thought to be the only bat that can adopt or care for pups that have lost their mothers. So they've seen that too, where bats will kind of hand off pups, or if mom doesn't come back in time. So there's a stage in between where they have to hold them and they don't have to hold them, or they just kind of hang there. If mom gets eaten by a bird or something like that, other birds or other bats in the roost will adopt.
That's
those
pretty
lost
cool.
pups.
Take over.
The only, as far as we know, the only bat that does that. It's super weird. These colonies are often destroyed by farmers.
Oh.
Farmers try to protect their livestock from vampire bats by destroying the bat colonies. Although the tiny cuts made by vampire bats normally don't cause any harm to the prey animals, they can, in small cases, lead to infections. And even smaller percentage of time, they transmit rabies. It's very rare for a bat to carry rabies.
Yeah, but if it does.
They're so small that it normally destroys their system so fast.
Okay.
They don't really get to the spreading stage.
Right.
But, it can. But in that case, you destroy every coyote and every wolf and every,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, you're not going to. Killing the bat ain't stopping that problem.
No, and then it's causing, So their saliva is used to treat human diseases. My last little fact for you. You want to guess what the disease is?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. It's something.
What?
Skin disease?
Their saliva is used to treat human diseases.
I don't know. Canker sores.
What I tell you, their blood or their saliva does. Anticoagulant.
Right. Okay.
Vampire bat saliva contains an anticoagulant that prevents their prey's blood from clotting when the bats feed. This glycoprotein has been found to be an effective treatment in humans who have blood clotting disorders.
Oh.
And have proven to prevent strokes in patients.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The scientific use of this chemical, it's literally called Draculin.
Fitting.
So if anybody out there has any of these heart diseases, I feel for you. But if you've ever been prescribed Draculin or they've injected you with Draculin,
it's bat.
It is vampire bat saliva, which I'd rather be put in me than most of the other chemicals they have.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
If you tell me like, hey, this drug comes from a pig's saliva and this drug comes from a lab, I'll take the pig.
Right, yeah.
I'll take the pig.
This one's synthesized from 42 different chemicals and hard metals.
Yeah, this one's from the bat's spit.
Yeah, this one is a bat spit in a cup.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, all right, I'll try that.
But yeah, I think it's really funny because a lot of times, like, what do we call it? Chardea powder is crickets, or Achatina powder is crickets. Chardea powder is a parasitic bug that they use for red dyes.
Wonderful, yeah. So no wonder why it's so good for us.
Well, that's probably one of the better red dyes for you.
Still.
But Argentina powder, like, call it that because they don't want to call it cricket powder.
Right, yeah.
So Draculin.
Draculin's pretty nail on the head.
Do you learn anything about vampire bats?
Yeah. I didn't realize their social structure. I didn't realize there were so few.
There's only 3 species out of 1,400, which is crazy. Bats are not rodents. They're not related to rodents very, close to besides being mammals,
They're pretty much rodents.
But
They're
I've heard that.
rodents.
I've heard that forever.
Yeah.
Rodents are so much more disease carriers and stuff like that than bats. Like
they're nuisances. How about that?
Yeah, but bats get this bad rap of like carrying rabies. And these vampire bats, they won't drink a pig dry or nothing like that.
Right, yeah.
Most of the time, the amount of blood they take from large mammals and birds
isn't even
negligible.
Right, not even noticeable.
Yeah.
Oh, bats are great to have around.
I think the blood parrots from New Zealand were much worse. They actually kill sheep.
Oh, well, that'll be another episode of Freaky Fauna.
But no, for Halloween, the vampire bat gets kind of a bad rap, and they don't deserve it, and they're actually saving lives.
Yeah.
Preventing strokes. They prevented strokes.
Get you a bat box.
Please do, actually. I got to pull it up. Connor and Alex's. I don't know if they sell bat boxes yet.
Oh, they're going to start making those?
They need to. And here, everybody.
So if anyone don't know what a bat box is.
Let me pull up Connor and Alex.
It's basically, everyone knows what a bird house is, but it's like a bat house. Or, I mean, same thing, but for bats. But, you can hang them up at your house, give them a place to stay at night. But the benefit is they can take care of all them pesky mosquitoes outdoors. A lot of bug control can be done just by bats, but you just need a place for them to hang out.
So here's the thing, 100%. If you like mosquitoes, generally speaking, most bats, and a lot of them are pollinators. A lot of bats are pollinators, and people do not realize it. They drink nectar and all that. So the bat box, like you said, for mosquitoes. Also, birdhouses will prevent bugs too.
Oh, for sure, yes.
And if you bring some dragonfly larvae and put them in a pool that you make for them, they will prevent. So dragonflies during the day, birds for the morning and evenings, and bats for night.
Oh, really?
And yes,
wow.
You can literally set up a tiny little ecosystem. And
we gotta start doing that.
That's next year's project.
Yeah,
because I do not like mosquitoes. Probably the only animal. Ticks absolutely. That's a whole different bloodsucker.
Yeah,
but they actually carry diseases regularly.
Ticks or
yeah. Like it's like rabies for vampire bats is super rare.
Right. Yeah,
but it does happen. Like half the ticks here in Ohio have Lyme disease.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a fan of ticks.
10% of them have that disease that makes you not be able to eat meat.
Yeah, that's I don't want to deal with that.
So Connor and Alex is Critters and Coops Plant Shop. Follow them on Facebook. They just did a live bat survey the other day. So yeah, message them and tell them. I know they built bat boxes because they're going to help us build ours for backyard. So message them and tell them, hey, I'll buy a bat box from you. They're good guys. Support them.
Absolutely.
Happy Halloween. And remember, just because Hollywood has made an animal out to be a monster doesn't mean it is. 90% of the time, those depictions of these creatures are overblown. I cannot tell you how many people are scared of anacondas from the movie Anaconda.
I was.
You know how active an anaconda is.
It ain't
you know
that-
how not to get eaten by an anaconda? Don't go stand in the swamp in the Amazon.
I don't know. I seen it eat that one guy and then spit him back out, and he was like half dissolved.
That would happen if an anaconda had the metabolism of a T-Rex and was 150 foot long and was on drugs.
And could strike at like 100 miles an hour from across the room.
If anybody didn't know, anacondas are basically logs that
With just
lay on the bottom of the water.
Big mouth.
They're not even that big. Their heads are tiny.
Oh, wow.
I have been the great and peaceful mystery.
And I've been Jay.
Everybody be safe out there for Halloween. Just watch your kids. Have fun, but be smart about all this stuff. Kids in cars always make me nervous. Yeah. All right, guys.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.